Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to measure power in LT Spice. Let's just build the resistive load example that we had previously. We'll just start with a voltage source and two resistors. I might need to change the orientation of these to get what I want, but let's just build the circuit up real quick. We'll ground both of these, and then let's just say that this net is called V in or VI, and we'll call this one VO. Make both these 50 ohm resistors like we had, and then we'll go ahead and make this a sine wave. We'll go 0, 1, let's just use 1 kilohertz because it's the easiest for me to remember the period. Alright, and so what we want to do is just go ahead and run a transient. Let's just say we want to look at 3 periods, so we'll just go 3 milliseconds. And I hit run, and of course I get my plot window. And so what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for the power here. And so what do we need? We need the voltage. So we were looking for the power across this resistor. Notice how the arrow for this resistor is pointing up, and this one's pointing to the left. That's what I was talking about. So I'm going to just go ahead and rotate these because I want the current pointing to the right and then downward like this. So I'll rerun, and let's take a look at the output voltage. So the output voltage, of course, is half of the input voltage. Let me make my input a different color. Just make it black. My output's blue. I'll add another plot pane and we can take a look and see. Of course, our output is 0.5 volts or half of my input. And then my current we saw was 10 milliamps. That's what we got from the slide. So here it is. It's 10 milliamps swinging up and down around a value of 0. And so what if we want to find the power? Well, what we can do, there's two different ways we can do it. If I add a plot pane, there's actually several different ways we can do it. The first way we can do it is if I come hover over a resistor and I hold Option or Alt on my keyboard, I can click that key and you see that this little thermometer kind of looking thing pops up. And you see up here, it says click to plot power, and so it's automatically going to plot V of V out multiplied by the current through this resistor, which is exactly what I would want if I was going to plot the power. So I'll go ahead and click that, and there's my power waveform that we derived, right? It's 1 minus the cosine. It's got 2 times the frequency of my original signal, and it swings from 0 to 5 around a value of 2.5. And so if I come over here and hit Control click, it says that my average value is 2.4999 milliwatts or 2.5 milliwatts, which is exactly what we saw in the slides. Okay, I can do the same for this resistor as well, and of course it would be exactly the same. Oops, there it is. So this is the one in teal, right? It's basically the exact same power. It's the same voltage, same current. And so that's one way to find the average power, is basically to plot the power and then hit Control on that signal and get a look at the average value of it. Okay. Of course, this assumes that you have a exact number of cycles plotted, right? We talked about that previously. Because I've plotted exactly 3 milliseconds, which is 3 cycles at 1 kilohertz, I can get an accurate reading for the average. If I plot an uneven number of cycles, I cannot get an average that's accurate, right? So that's very important for that type of measurement. Another thing I can do is I can come down to the SPICE directive and I can say dot measure or dot MEAS, name my measurement. So let's just call it P out average. And I can say, so that's the name of the measurement. Then the type of measurement that I want is the average. And I want to take the average of the power. Well, the power, of course, is V of V out, the voltage, the output voltage, multiplied by the current through R2, right? And so I'm basically taking the average of this waveform, and I hit OK. I can put this down in my circuit, and I hit run. Nothing changes, but if I go Command L now and open my error log, I see that I get a measurement for the output power average, right? In this case, it's 0.002499 or 2.5 milliwatts, which is exactly what we expected. Okay, so that's a brief video on how to measure power in LT Spice. There's a couple different ways that we can do it. Of course, if you can't figure out how to plot by using the Alt or the Option key here, we can just straight up type this signal in and it'll give us the exact same thing. So let me delete this. And let's say I wasn't sure, oh, I don't know how to, my Alt key doesn't work or something, and I still want to plot the power. Well, I can plot the voltage, and then I can just come right here and just change the expression and multiply the voltage by I of R2. And what do I get? I get the power waveform, right? And of course I can change the color if I want back to this pink, and so on, okay? So there's several ways to do it. Hopefully that was informative, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.